within a week of him taking this, his behaviors went down by 50%.
Mm.
And that's on top of what happened with the dyes. So like we used to have 80 meltdowns a day. We're down to 20.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of my show. I'm your host, Jessica Moore, and today I have a special guest, y'all, that I am bringing up. So I'm sitting on Facebook, y'all, and I'm just scrolling through my merry little Facebook way, and then I come across this post where someone was talking about their child with with like behavior concerns, pretty much. And so as I was scrolling through the comments, we see people commenting on stuff all the time. And I came across Veronica Klepp's comment. And I was like, oh my goodness, y'all. She just has such a wealth of knowledge in relation to children with autism. And so when I saw her post, I immediately like, my this girl, you have to come on my show. So she actually has two children who are diagnosed with autism, ages 6 and 3. And I got to read y'all because I don't want to get this wrong. She employs positive, respectful, conscious, and gentle parenting. So I was like, very demure, very mindful. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring her up. Hi,
Hi, Jessica.
how are you?
I'm good.
So I know I just briefly just talked about who you are, but could you just tell everybody like just a little bit about what you put in your bio, just as far as like your journey and what led you to becoming a gentle parent?
It's kind of rough just because how I grew up is not how I parent. So I am a mom. I'm 29 and my babies are 6 and 3. They are both autistic. My son is level 2. He was diagnosed at 3 years, 8 months. And my daughter is level 3. She was diagnosed at 19 months. 9 months ago, she was nonverbal. And now she is fully verbal. She informed me this
Oh,
morning that she was going out the door. She had her backpack on upside down and she informed me that she was going to
oh,
won't start for 2 weeks, but okay, we'll go with it.
go with
Well,
it.
so basically how I started in gentle parenting was when my son was little, I didn't know what gentle parenting was. I was raised authoritarian, so the smack and punishments and taking things away and yelling like all the time. And I stopped myself. My son was so smart. He still is, but he was so smart at the time. And I was very into Montessori like skill to be able to
Mhm.
teach him different skills. And so I was following this family on YouTube. I can't remember the family. If I find it, I'll let you know. But following this family on YouTube, and they actually had a video. Now I didn't know what it was at the time, but giving space to this child who was having an absolute meltdown. And I'm sitting there thinking, what are you doing? Why aren't you correcting that? Why aren't you taking care of that? Why are you letting them misbehave like that? Why are you letting them be bad? And then I watched this little jack ball of energy turn into a weeping, sobbing mess. I think I actually put that in my comment, but just so you're, you know, better written in the comment. But I'm just like, what is this? There's another way to do this? Okay. What is this? So I started researching it and I'm thinking, now mind you, when I started spanking my son, he was only 10 months old and he was about 18 months when
Okay.
and I sat there and I looked at myself and I was like, why are you spanking a 1.5-year-old baby? Like,
Mhm.
that's a baby. Why are you? He doesn't even know what he's doing. And so I just started this gentle parenting journey and it's been very freeing and just a lot of learning, a lot of research. We're going to talk about the dyes at some point, but before the dyes, he was totally fine. he wasn't having any issues. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're having more issues. So then you have to like
Mhm.
readjust yourself. So it's a different aspect. Like every stage is different and you have to adjust
Mhm.
based on what stage you're in. Right now, he's in the lying stage, and my littlest one is in the mommy don't leave me stage.
Mhm.
So it's like, how do you gentle parent this? And I think a lot of people think that like gentle parenting is like permissive. And so it gets a really bad rap. I asked my mom the other day, I was like, look, I'm like, do you see the consequences though? She goes, I didn't at first. She's like,
Mhm.
but I do realize that you put them in their time ins, you put them in their calm down corner, you do this, you do that. And while it might not look like what we think
Mhm.
consequences and punishments should be, they do have boundaries. They do have consequences. They just look a little different.
Yes. So first, kudos to you just for because it takes a lot to look at yourself as a parent and be like, you know what, I think I'm doing this wrong, and I'm gonna research how to do it right. I know we were talking off camera and in messages about the authoritarian parenting style versus gentle parenting, and I know firsthand as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna just put that out there
One of
first.
those, let me take off my flip flop moments.
Yeah. Right, right. So what made you was it from the spanking and you just felt, okay, no, this not right, and you started doing the research, like, how did you make the shift in your parenting style?
So actually, like I said, my kid's really smart.
Mhm.
And he actually started hurting himself.
Okay.
He started biting himself. And it was almost like thinking in my old thought process, mom can't spank me if I'm hurting myself,
Mhm.
is what the thought process was going on. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I assumed that he was thinking, was that mom can't hurt me if I'm hurting myself. And I was like, oof, because I've got a background in psychology. So it's just trying to figure out why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when you realize that you really can't, at that point, I didn't know how to discipline without spank. And
Mhm.
I was like, he's hurting himself. How do I discipline that? And
Yeah.
then realizing that there's another way to do it.
Oh, go ahead. Were you about to say something?
Oh, no, no, you're good.
Okay. All right. So I actually I took her post because like when I tell y'all it was really good. It was really good. So I just want to break it down. So you talked about different things. You talk about three main things that you do, which include looking at a child's diet. And then the second thing was, I know you put first thing, second thing is vitamin. And then lastly is looking at how you parent. So diet, can you talk a little bit about you put some really good information in here as far as like different artificial dyes. Can you just explain this for anybody that may have never heard of red and yellow dye? Red, you put red, yellow, blue, and green.
Yeah. So there was I'm sorry, give me just one second. I'm going to take a peek here at my sent it to my mom just so that I could reference it later. I wanted to get the name of the lady that I had gotten all of this stuff from. Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. So why are you looking for that? I'm
Okay,
just gonna
her
go through.
name
Oh, you
is
got it?
um her name is Dr. Rebecca Bevins. You can look at that up on YouTube. It's called The Effects of Artificial Food Dyes. And
Okay.
then it's Dr. Rebecca Bevins, Bevans, and it's TED by Carson City. And she has like so much information in there. She's a parent herself of some neurospacey littles. And she noticed certain behaviors in her kid, which is, I came across it and I was like, you know what? Maybe this could be a thing. And I
Mhm.
thought it was just a load of crap at first. I really did. I thought it was a load. And then, so my son gets respite. And so he went with his worker. We've been with her for, about 2 years now. and she's absolutely fantastic with him. But she was giving him little treat twice a week just for kicks. And she let him pick out his own snack at the gas station, kind of thing. And so he would pick green bug juice. Green's his favorite color, like a parrot. He likes parrots because they're green.
It's
It's just the cutest thing. But he'd always pick the green bug juice. And we started noticing because he had ABA at the same time. And we were noticing that after he came back from his respite worker, his behavior started acting up.
very,
And this is not my normal little boy. We were having issues where he was throwing things at people. He was punching me and kicking me in the head. He
mm.
was causing concussions. He sent me to the ER.
Oh my goodness.
So it's
Wait, at what age?
3.
Oh,
He was 3. And it was incredible. And obviously, I am not a little girl, but the fact that a 43-pound child
mhm.
could beat the absolute snot out of me and send me to the ER
Wow.
is tells you a lot about the impact of whatever it was on his body. And so we started experimenting with like his diet, like taking things out, putting things in, trying to figure out what was going on. We actually eliminated the bug juices for about a week because I'd come across that video. And I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'm like, it's got yellow dye in it. I said, I bet you anything, if we took it out for a week, maybe it would make a difference. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
Mhm.
So we took it out and he went back to normal by the end of the week, he was completely back to normal. And then I
Wow.
was like, okay, let's test it and see. And we gave him 1 bug juice. I was like, okay, you're allowed to give him a bug juice today, not Tuesday, not Thursday. She's okay. I was like, all right, so let's see how it goes. And he went absolute,
Wow.
he went crazy. So the yellow dye is by far your nastiest for behaviors. So I'll start with green and blue because they last less in your system. So green and blue dyes just cause like general grumpiness and just like general moodiness. Okay. And they only last in your body for about 12 to 24 hours.
Mm.
So it's not horrible. But if they're already cranky, you don't want them any more cranky than they
Yeah.
are. And it's not always a good thing for them anyway. Now, the red dye is the one that everybody talks about, red 40. And yes, it is bad for you. Like I said in my statement, it is bad for you medically wise. They did this study on rat, don't like animal studies, but we'll go with it today. But they had this experiment on rats where they gave them red dye and these rats started developing, I think it was colorectal cancer
Mm.
and thyroid issues. And their thyroid is very closely related to human.
Mm.
So can you imagine if this is happening in a rat? How is it happening in humans? And the FDA is still approving.
Yeah.
So the red dye increases like ADHD symptoms and it just kind of it makes them hyper. It gives them migraine. It causes brain buzzing where like they can't quiet their head. It
Mm.
just feels real fuzzy all the time. And I'm wondering, this is something I always say. I'm like, I'm wondering, being that my generation is the cereal generation, where we were given Lucky Charms,
Mhm.
Pebble, Captain Crunch, all the good stuff. How many of us were diagnosed with ADHD and we don't actually have it?
Mm.
We just had a bad reaction to it.
Yeah.
Something to ponder. Now, the yellow dyes, getting back to where we started, the yellow
I'm
dyes.
still listening. I'm gonna cut my camera
Oh,
off real quick because my internet connection is going
oh,
out.
no, no, you're good.
But I'm still listening.
Nope, you're good. The yellow dyes are by far your nastiest for your behavioral issues. They mimic bipolar mania, oppositional defiant disorder, and conduct disorder. So, conduct disorder, for any of you that don't know what it is, the DSM-5 prohibits neuropsychologists from diagnosing children under the age of 18 with antisocial personality disorder, which is
Mhm.
sociopaths. They have to be diagnosed with conduct disorder until they turn 18, and then it's antisocial personality
Personality,
disorder.
yeah.
So basically it's a child sociopath. And this dye causes these symptoms.
Mhm.
It causes them to be borderline hateful. So when I'm talking about him giving me concussions and him being just wild, like that's what it is. It's just him having a bad reaction to it. And it's not every kid. I'll
Yeah.
I'll put that disclaimer out there. It's not every kid. I've seen several kids that are able to handle it, but a lot of your neurodivergent kids, more so than neurotypical, have a harder time with dyes because they are more sensitive. Their brains are already kind of not off. You know what I mean? They're already susceptible to
Yeah.
things because of the way that their brains work and the chemicals that are involved. So when you're adding extra chemicals in there and it further off balances them,
Yeah.
you got to bring them back.
Yeah.
So we've taken out things like Doritos, like nacho cheese Doritos. The kids love them, but they have red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
So we've actually gone as far. I don't know if you guys have an Aldi down there. Do you guys have
Mhm,
Aldi
we
down
do.
there? Okay. So
Yeah.
Aldi, all of their stuff is dye free, or I
Okay.
should say most of their stuff.
I need to write that
98%.
down.
Yeah, 98% of Aldi brand snacks. So not like they carry the Oreos, they carry the Doritos, they carry all of that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about their brands, like the Clancy's, the
Okay.
what is it? Barclays or something, or Barton's, whatever it is. All of their brands are dye free except for the confetti cake cupcakes. They will always be. But other than that, I can even find dye free jello.
Okay.
Like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really great place to shop. And it's,
I always ride right past Aldi. I never like
yeah, no,
I
definitely
never
go in
go
there.
there.
Oh my God. They're
Yeah.
amazing. They really are. They're about half the price of Walmart and their stuff is so much healthier for you.
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah.
So just for okay, I have a couple questions. One of them is, was it hard making that transition? Because I know for me, when I've been using an app to try to figure out like what to give my kids and whatnot and stuff like that. And one thing is, it can be hard like to get him to switch, like just as a parent.
A lot of, so with the Aldis, okay, so they have their version of the name brand thing. If you don't get the name brand thing and you get the Aldi brand, they almost can't tell the difference.
That makes sense.
Some
So
of them can. If you have both of them at the same time, you can definitely tell the difference. But if you stop buying it for a little bit, like you don't buy it for
mhm.
2 to 4 weeks and then buy the Aldi brand, they won't even hardly know the difference. No kids might, because autistic kids are like zeroed in on that, but it didn't
Yeah.
make a difference with my kids. They absolutely love them. They like to eat, we get like the nacho cheese off brand Doritos, and they like to eat it with like cottage cheese. It is
Okay.
the funniest thing. And they didn't notice the switch.
Yeah. Okay. That is very helpful. Can you name a couple more foods just for people that may be somebody that's never heard of food dye at all?
So
So I
yeah,
know you said
absolutely.
Doritos.
I can give you guys a list of like stuff that is like um safe for
Yeah.
dye free safe, but like stuff like Doritos, Cheetos
Yeah.
have dye in them. Cheddar cheese Chex Mix has yellow dye. Some of your mac and cheese has yellow dye.
No, not the mac and cheese.
Kraft brand does not.
Okay.
Kraft brand is safe. I have found that one out. But stuff that you would normally get from like a food pantry, because some of them have like off brand stuff. I think it was called like Premier Pantry or something like that. And it yellow dye in it. Your suddenly salads. Some of them have dye in it, specifically the chicken bacon ranch one. It has red dye in the bacon bits.
Okay.
but they're mixed in with everything else. So it's not like you can just pick them out.
Yeah.
But all these has a version of it that is dye free. So if
Okay.
that's something that you like, you can still have it. You just got to be smart about it and just make the switch to a dye free version.
Thank you. I'm gonna look into
Yeah,
more information about
absolutely.
that because, like I
And
said, yeah.
Lay's has just made a Simply line.
Mhm.
If you ever see like Simply at Walmart or another store, I don't think they sell them at all these, but they do sell them at Walmart and they are
Mhm.
organic. They are dye free
Okay. Okay.
and they sell Cheetos and Doritos and blue corn chips and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the next section, you talked about vitamins. What type of vitamins do you use for your children?
So I took my kid to a naturalist, and originally it wasn't even because of the behaviors necessarily. It was actually because, so he's 6 and he still wets the bed at night. But he was like also wetting during the day. So I took him to like urology to try to figure out if there was something going on internally, see if there was a reason, like a medical reason for it. And they said, no, he's fine. Everything's totally fine. And I was like, okay, weird, but okay. So I was, you know what? Let me take him to a naturalist and see if there's something that they can give him to see if there's anything they can do to
Mhm.
help him. And when I took him to this girl, she did a Zyto exam on him. So basically, it looks like a computer mouse. Can you put your hand on it? And it reads your galvanic skin response. And it actually tells you what's going on in your body.
Wow. Well, you said it's a nutritionist?
Naturalist,
And okay.
naturalist. So the one that I went to here, they're absolutely fantastic. It's Infinite Healing,
Okay.
and they're based out of Green Bay. So it's cool to go in there and see it. And we've had a couple of them done, and every single time it has been something that has been recently going on. And I thought it was a load of hooey too. But when I went in, I originally went to go take in my daughter and my son, and my daughter is just too small. Her hand's too
Mhm.
small for the mouse. So she's, "What I'm gonna do you instead?" And I was like, "Okay." I didn't tell her anything about me. I didn't tell her anything about my health,
Mhm.
anything that was going on. She goes, "What's up with your lungs?" And I was like, "I'm an asthmatic and I currently have bronchitis."
Mm.
She goes, "What's up with your thyroid?" And I was like, "I'm having, so like, I'm having like, it's called galactorrhea. So it's like when you continue to produce milk even though you're not nursing anymore." I was like, "I'm having that issue. I've been producing for like almost 7 years
Mm.
and without a break, and I am not nursing right now, like at all." So she's, "Okay, what's up with your skin?" And I was like, "It's peeling. As you can see, it's very red. Hate." I'm like, "It's peeling." And so I was like, "Maybe this isn't the load." So she did his, and it came up that his liver and his prostate were off.
Mm.
And I was like, "That's a little weird." And I was telling her about his behaviors and stuff. And she goes, "You know what?" She goes, "Let's try him on Mind Max and see what happens." So they go through Nature's Sunshine, and Mind Max is a magnesium ginkgo supplement.
Mhm.
It's a 90 pill supply. Um, they're in capsules. So you can actually, for kids that don't swallow pills, you can actually open the capsule and mix it in with applesauce. Don't mix it in with anything liquid because it does not dissolve. But if you put it in like pudding or jello or applesauce or whatever, something a little thicker, it'll melt. But it's a 90 capsule supply, and I only give them one a day. It's recommended to give them like 2 to 3, depending on their age and weight and whatever. You have to,
Mhm.
talk to a naturalist about what's the appropriate dosage. But I just give him one a day, and that gives me a 3-month supply for $50.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? $200 a year
Yeah.
for peace of mind and for behavioral help, I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
Within a week of him taking this, his behaviors went down by 50%.
Mm.
And that's on top of what happened with the dyes. So, like, we used to have 80 meltdowns a day. We're down to 20,
Okay.
and they are less severe and less volatile. He is
Yeah.
getting along with his sister. He is doing great. He did great with school last year. His teacher made it a point to inform me that he was using emotional co-regulation with his classmates who were 4. That takes your prefrontal cortex, and that doesn't start developing until you're 7. So the fact that he's using these skills already, he's like,
Yeah.
"Whatever you're doing at home, keep doing it because it's working."
Yeah. Oh. Have you I want to ask you too, have you heard of neurofeedback?
Of what?
Neurofeedback? It's like neurofeedback, like brain mapping.
Neurofeedback?
Yeah, brain mapping.
Like brain spotting?
It's brain I just know it's called brain mapping, so I don't know if it's like another word for it, but
Maybe my counselor. But brain
yeah, I
spotting,
was
yeah,
just
sure is. So it's like,
okay, yeah, I was asking because that's what I've done with my son is neurofeedback. And so like a lot of the stuff that you're saying, like I love when other parents like go above and beyond to make sure, especially when it comes to our kids. But it reminds me of because for a parent, I know for me, and it sounds the same for you, is I need to know the root cause so that I can work on that. Don't tell
yeah.
me theoretically this, like exactly what's going on. And it's where they actually go and it's similar to EKG, but it's for your brain. And they put the cap on and then they do a brain scan and they can
Mhm.
actually see like which part of the brains are doing what, like problem solving. So you get the whole picture of their brain. Like for my son, everything was normal except the speech part where it's called like the brokenness, something with an A, I forgot. But yeah, like I just it just made me think of had you done that because that's something that we did that last year with the brain map and just seeing like how his brain is functioning and stuff like that too.
And that's also really cool to be able to see. Just, I mean, as a parent, like, that's just really cool to see in
I
general.
know. See, I knew it clicked because
Yeah.
my degree is in psychology too.
Yeah.
So I have a background in psychology, so I'm into stuff like that. So definitely look that up as well, the brain mapping because and I'm gonna look up the nutritionist. No, naturally.
Natural.
And Rebecca Bevins too. But yeah, that was just a side note. I was just like, have you thought of that too? Cause yeah.
Yeah,
It
anybody
helped
that does, like, natural healing with, like, herbal supplements and stuff.
yeah, I'm on it. I'm about to
Oh,
start
yeah.
looking into this
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But so then the last part that you talked about was the parenting, and I know you have your own framework as well. So you
Mhm.
want to just talk about that and then just get into the part. I know we talked about the parenting and begin with framework that you use
Oh, I'm sorry,
and how you
Jessica, I
use
lost
it.
you for a second there.
Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just cut out
Okay.
a second, sorry.
The internet is horrible here.
No,
So
it's okay.
yeah, I was just saying that your method, like if you could just talk about the AEIOUY method that you created.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know we were talking about, like, gentle parenting in the framework and stuff. So this is basically a method that I came up with to handle severe meltdowns
Mhm.
and to, like, stop them in their tracks. Because let's be real, you're going out to the store, you don't want to deal with a meltdown. You're going to give that kid the candy bar. You're going to give them that toy. You're going to let them walk out with it because you just don't want to deal with it. I made that mistake. It's a bad, bad, bad habit, guys. Bad habit. So I started this AEIOUY, sometimes Y, just your vowels, to help stop meltdowns before they happen. So if you're having, like, I think the example I used was giving them ice cream. They wanted more ice cream.
Mhm.
And so, like, offsetting here. But the example I used was giving ice cream. So A is for acknowledge. So, like, validation, acknowledging their feeling. E is empathizing. I is informing. O is offering alternatives. U is upholding their choice. And then Y, there's a little bit of debate on this one between me and my mother. I say yoga breaths because you need to calm yourself down. And she said yawn because you need a nap because you just dealt with a toddler and you need a nap. But so what I mean by these is, so like using the ice cream example, because it's just easier. So like, mom, I want an ice cream. I, yeah, just getting really into it. And you're like, okay, I hear you. I see that you want an ice cream. I understand you want an ice cream. You want more. And then you switch to empathize. You're like, I would be upset if somebody wouldn't let me have more ice cream.
Mhm.
And then you switch to inform. I can't give you any more right now because you're going to get sick. It's going to make your tummy feel yuck. And then you go offer alternative. Hey, we can go have an apple or we can have a banana. Or if you want, we could, pretzels, we could have some watermelon, or we could do something totally different. We could read a book, we could go play, we could go color, whatever
Mhm.
you want. And then you let them decide. Obviously, just give them two choices. But
Yeah.
no, just as an example of what you could tell them, just be like, do you want an apple or do you want a banana?
Mhm.
And then let them choose and then uphold that choice, follow through with it. And then we do, I call it yoga breaths, but for the kids, we do like deep breathing. And how we started that was smell the flower, blow the bubbles. Usually they say blow the candle, but we don't play with fire.
Yeah.
So we blow the bubbles instead. But they've both started. I just look at them, I'm like, flower bubbles, and they'll go.
Oh.
It's just the kid, even the 3-year old, that she'll be 3 tomorrow. But yeah, even the 3-year old, she's just like, I need deep breaths. I need deep breaths. I'm like, okay, let's go
Oh.
do some deep breaths. So then we'll go over to what I call the calm down corner and we'll sit there and we'll co-regulate and we'll sit there and we'll talk. Okay, how are you feeling? She'll go, I'm angry. Okay, angry. We can handle that. We can do that. And then I'm just like, okay, what are you angry about? Why are you angry? What happened? And
Mhm.
then just go through it with her, like physically walk her through it. And it makes them feel heard and it makes them feel validated and it makes them feel like they're a human.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we as parents, we forget that they're little human. They're our kids. They're our kids. They're there. And
Mm.
like a newborn, they're an extension of us, but they're their own little people and they have their own feelings and they have their own wants and their own needs. And when you're not meeting those needs, you're not meeting them where they're at, they're going to get a little
Mhm.
frustrated. So it's just a matter of finding them where they're at and really trying to figure out what the problem is. And if you can figure out what the problem is, you're less likely to have a meltdown.
What is a cram down corner? What does that look like?
Okay, do you want to see mine?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. I apologize. It's a little messy here. I just cleaned up, but
That's
it is a
small
little bit
kid.
messy.
Yeah,
So
you got
right now
small
we have
kid.
it set up as like a bed. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Where were you? So this is our calm down corner. So
Okay.
basically it's just, so we have oh my God. Okay. Hold on. We have a crash pad down here. And then we just have like soft blankets and stuffies and stuff. And then we usually have fidget toys and stuff
Mhm.
so that basically the purpose of it is when they're having a big feeling, we call it big feelings. When they're having a big feeling that is really hard for them to handle, they go to the calm down corner, whether it
Mhm.
is self induced or I'm just like, go to the corner. And they use it as a safe space to calm down. Because sometimes it's just hard to feel your feelings.
Mhm.
And so when they go by themselves, I love it when they go by themselves because it means what I'm doing is working.
Mhm.
But if they can't go by themselves, if they need that help, that's when I do the emotional co-regulation. I physically sit down with them. Yes, I sit down on the floor. And I just hold their hands and I deep breathe with them and I ask them how they're doing and I ask them what I can do to help. and always follow it up with a hug, always. Or
Oh,
at least ask them if they want a hug. I'm all about consent. Do you want a hug? Do you want a snuggle? Do you want a kiss? Do you want a snack? Whatever it may be, what's going to make you feel better. And then I just let them be themselves in the corner. That's their area for me giving them space to do whatever they need to do to calm down. If they need to yell and scream and hit a pillow or throw a stuffed animal or just want to sit there and play with a fidget spinner or a
mhm.
popper or whatever they need to do to calm down, that's their space to be able to do that in a safe, judgment-free zone.
Okay. Now, Veronica, did you have a Christmas tree up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, okay, I apologize. So right now we have birthday decorations up because I'm making birthday decorations for the party next week.
And happy early
They're
birthday.
they're jellyfish, just cute.
It is.
So the reason being, okay, so a little bit more about us. So we were homeless for 2 years. We were in a tent, we were in a truck, we were in different hotels and shelters and
Mhm.
stuff. And so it was just a lot of moving around. It was right before we moved in here. And so with all of the moving around and stuff, my little guy was just absolutely heartbroken when we went to take down the Christmas tree. And I was like, you know what? He's having a hard time with transition.
Mm,
So I gave him a calculated transition that he could control. So it's now a holiday tree. We decorated it for Valentine's Day. We decorated it for St. Patrick's Day, Easter. We did like Memorial Day slash 4th of July slash Labor Day. We
right.
just took all the red, white, and blue decorations off because they like shredded them, but it was really super cute. We had, oh my gosh, garland, and we had little flags, and we had red, white, and blue flowers, and it was just the cutest thing. We had little metal like pom poms that looked like fireworks. So next is Halloween. So we'll be doing that pretty quick here. But yeah, he's very excited to go. He gets to go and help find the decorations, and he gets to help put the stuff on the tree, and it's very nice for him to be able to control something about his life, and it's
Mm,
something small. Not really. I have a big enough living room. It's only taking up about a fifth of my living room. So the fact that I'm just like, you know what, we'll just keep it up. It's not hurting anybody. And
mhm.
honestly, you can actually see it from the street outside. And I have gotten more compliments on it with the lights being on than you would think. But it's the cutest thing, and he loves it. My little one loves it too. We first put it up and she was doing the Christmas lights and we were singing all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. And so
Oh.
she'll run around and she'll go, monkey weasel, monkey weasel. And it's just the cutest thing. They do so well together with decorating, and then we put things away. We make sure we put things away and we put them up in the laundry room in boxes, and then we'll just keep them for next year or whenever we decide to do it again. Oh,
I love it.
how
Thank
how
you.
great.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So my last question, I know we at the tag. So the last thing I wanted to ask, you talked about the teddy bear method, and then time ins versus time out. So I just
Okay.
wanted to ask if you can explain
Yeah,
those.
absolutely. So time ins is the exact opposite of timeouts. So in a normal timeout, authoritarian speaking, go to your room,
Very.
go away, go deal with it on your own. Whereas a time in is me asking them, do you need my help or do you want to do it yourself?
Mm,
And so they get to decide if they want to do it themselves or if they want me to help. So that's where the emotional co-regulation comes in. So if they need a time in, it's me physically sitting down with them and being there for them, whether I'm helping them or I'm just there for moral support.
mm.
It makes them feel a little better. It makes them feel heard. And then the teddy bear the teddy bear method is something I usually only use in like dire emergencies. So if my little one, we're fairly certain that she has explosive disorder on top of autism,
Mm,
but we can't get her an evaluation until she's 4. And so we got another year for that. But she has a problem using nice hands.
Mm,
and nice feet. And so she likes to kick and punch and hit and pinch and bite. So if she is using unsafe appendages, I will physically like put her in between my legs, like on my lap, sit in between my legs, and I will cross my ankles over top of her legs. And then I will grab her arm and pull it like to her ribs. Not enough to hurt her, but just enough to keep her still and keep her from hurting herself and others. And I will
okay.
physically hold her there until she stops thrashing around, until she stops and she's calmed down enough. And then I'm like, okay, are you good? And then she'll go, yeah. Okay. Are you sure we're good? Yeah. Okay. If you continue to have issues, we're going to come back here and we're going to do it again because we're not
Mhm.
going to use unsafe hands. We're going to be nice. We don't, and you don't hurt people that you love. That's abuse. It's not okay. We don't hurt people. It's just kind of, and then I actually just learned a new one that I wanted to share with you. It's calming the vagus nerve. So it's taking you from sympathetic to parasympathetic, taking you out of that fight or flight mode. So what you do, just a little demonstration for you. So you take one hand and you put it on the back of their head, and you take the other hand and you put it on their back, and you hold them to your chest as tight as you possibly can, obviously without hurting them. But you hold them there and you just count to, I think it's 20 or 30,
Mm,
and you feel them go limp and then they start squirming. And that is the brain shift. It physically takes them out of that fight or flight and shows them that they're safe
mm.
because you're applying that pressure. You're showing them that they're safe with you, and it triggers their vagus nerve.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
this has been very helpful for me, I'm sure for other parents as well. So I just wanted to firstly just say thank you for doing it.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm gonna be implementing some of this stuff myself
Yes.
because I know I deal with meltdowns. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be,
Oh, yeah.
but it's a whole lot better. And so, yeah, I just want to say thanks for taking time out of
Oh,
class.
absolutely. I have no problem with that,
Thank
really.
thank you. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before we
And
closed out?
so just another thing, like to follow up with the yellow dye, I've had my little guy off of dye for over a year now. Okay, like almost 2 years actually. And I will tell you, this is how I knew it wasn't a fluke the first time around. He had a pack of nacho cheese Doritos that he got from one of the little girls in his class because he
Mhm.
was complaining that he was starving. And so she just took pity on him and gave him her snack. And he actually, that same night, he came back to the house. My 34-year-old cousin was over. He dislocated her leg.
Oh my goodness. And five,
And
this is
yeah, and beat the sound he was 5 at the time. Even 2 years into this dye-free
yeah.
diet, it's still affecting him. If you want, I do have a list here if you want me to list off some stuff that's dye-free.
Yeah.
Okay, so most of the Aldi's brand snacks, so like the Barclays, or I think it's called Barclays or Clancy's or whatever it is, anything organic is gonna be dye-free. Black Forest fruit snacks will be dye-free. Gardetto's snack mix, so like Chex Mix, but it's Gardetto's.
Mhm.
The blue Chex Mix, the original mix, is dye-free, but the cheddar has yellow dyes, so stay away from the cheddar. The Simply line for Doritos, Cheetos, blue corn chips, I think it's called Popcorners. They have a variety pack for like school, and it comes in sea salt, kettle corn, and salt and vinegar. Your Cape Cod potato chips are dye-free. Your Cybelle's free-to-eat cookies, they are at Walmart. They're a little bit more expensive because they're actually top 9 allergen free. So if you're
Mm.
looking for cookies that are nut and wheat and gluten-free, all kinds of those are definitely
And
good.
you said, what's the name of that? What's the
They're
name of the
called
place?
Cybelle's, Cybelles, Cybelle's free-to-eat cookies.
Okay.
and they come in different varieties. They have chocolate chip, they have oatmeal raisin, they have brownie bites, I think. Don't quote me on that one.
I'm
But
gonna look it up.
they have all kinds of stuff. Zolly Pops, suckers, and candies. I highly suggest looking at those because they're actually healthy candy. I know I
Okay.
used healthy and candy in the same sentence. They're actually made with the same stuff that they use at the dentist's office,
Okay.
and they clean your teeth while you eat them. So if you
Okay.
have a kid that doesn't want to brush their teeth and they love
Yeah.
candy, that's another way of getting them to clean their teeth. And I know that for some autism parents, that is a big thing.
Yeah.
Big thing. The Yum Earth candy, they have like licorice bites. I think they have the Swedish fish looking things. Johnny Pop popsicles are all dye free. And then DB's, DEEBE freezer pops are also dye free.
Okay.
And I actually just got another set because those are expensive, but I found the popsicle brand. They just came out with a colors from natural sources box. It's like an 18 pack. And I don't know if you guys have the same prices down there, but at Walmart, for us, it's an 18 pack and it's $5.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? That's probably not that bad, being that it's normally 8 for $5.
Yeah,
Um,
we just started making our own popsicles and
yeah.
stuff too.
Yeah. And I was, if you can do it, you should.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the time or you don't have patience
No,
for it,
I'm
those
definitely
are
looking into this too because
definitely. And
it
then
take a
like
lot of time.
most of your root beer, your white soda, your body armor,
Mhm.
Starbucks double shot for moms, then your juicy juice will all be dye free for drinks. And then so this stuff isn't even just in your food. Okay.
Yeah.
I have toothpaste and mouthwash that
We just switched our what, like 6
yes,
months out.
yes,
I was about to say that.
yes.
What kind do you use?
So
I
for the
forget
mouthwash, we use Tom.
terms. Yes,
I
that's the
think
same
Tom's from
one.
Maine or something like that. Then
Yeah.
the Orajel brand toothpaste
Okay.
is dye free. And then for soap, Bath and Body Works hand soaps and refills are all dye free. The body sprays are not.
Okay.
So I wasn't going to waste $16 a bottle on my Bath and Body Works sprays. So now we just use them for bathroom spray or car spray or wherever there's a funky odor. We just use them for that instead of body spray
Yeah.
because I'm just like,
Mhm.
crap. And
Yeah.
then Dove bar soap is dye free, but a lot of the liquid has dyes. So if you're going to go
Okay.
with Dove, try to go for the bar soap if possible. Your Irish Spring has dye in it a lot. It has, I think, green and blue. So it's not as horrible as the rest of them, but your Suave tea tree and rosemary shampoo and conditioner, those are dye free.
Okay.
And then I think, I don't know if you guys have Dollar Tree down there or not, but
Yeah.
well, it's called Paracare. It's aloe lotion. The one that we have up here is a green, it's got a green bottle with a black screw lid, and that's dye free. Even though it's green, it's dye free.
Okay.
So it's fantastic. We also found their jelly bean shampoo, or not shampoo, body wash is dye free as well. And
Okay.
it smells amazing, guys. Seriously. It's awesome. But yeah, like your Arm and so at Dollar Tree, your Arm and Hammer kids wash is also dye free. So a lot of their stuff, like at Walmart, has dye in it. Even so, like the Mr. Bubbles bubble bath from Walmart,
Mhm.
the white one is dye free. The pink and purple have dye.
Okay.
So if your kids like bubble bath, I highly suggest Mr. Bubbles, the white one. My little guy, he's got so many issues with eczema and it
Mhm.
is hypoallergenic. Like we've tried like 40 or 50 different things on his skin and he breaks out to everything. That one
Mhm.
can actually do. So
Yeah.
it's very good. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the stuff
Yeah,
that,
this
and
is
then if you're
definitely
looking for
helpful.
like dye-free, planet-safe cleaners, highly suggest Melaleuca.
Okay.
They are sustainably sourced and they actually make sure that things are replanted.
Okay. You said Melaleuca?
Melaleuca. Yeah, let me find the spelling of that for you.
I got it. I put what it sound like so I could just
Yeah,
look it up.
Melaleuca.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it's a brand. It's Melaleuca, the wellness company, and they have personal care supplements, beauty products,
Okay.
anything and everything that you can think of. So it's not just cleaning products; it's also like supplements and stuff,
Okay.
makeup, skincare, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. So if anybody want to reach out to you and they're like, you know what, I loved this interview with you, and they want to reach out and ask any questions, how can they get in contact with you?
Absolutely, they're more than welcome to get a hold of me on Facebook. If you wanna share my Facebook Messenger, you're more than welcome to. They're more than welcome to leave me a message, and I will try to respond. I am going to school right now, so it might be a little bit few and
What
far
you going
between.
to school for?
Office support specialist, and
Okay.
I'm actually going with my
Congratulations.
mother. She's 53. She has not been to school in
Oh,
20 years, and we're doing it together because we keep each other accountable.
yeah.
But you need something outside of
Congratulations.
being a mom.
Yeah.
In general, just putting this out there, you need something outside of being a mom. You have to have some sort of purpose in your life. And I was like, I don't know what my purpose is outside of being a mother.
Yeah.
So it's been, we just finished our first week and it's been a ride. We actually dropped 5 class. She dropped 4 classes. I dropped 5 because I had an extra class. But yeah, we dropped 4 or 5 classes and because it was just way too much. I was like, I've got 17 credits in one semester, not happening.
Yeah.
No way. No way I'm doing like
Yeah.
12 classes all at once. There's no way. But yeah, so like I said, it might be a little bit of a wait for messaging back, but I usually get back to you within 48 to 72 hours.
All right. Thank you so much. Like I said, thank you for being here. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this again. For anybody, I would tell y'all, encourage you to take notes because this one was like it's really good. And I'm not just saying that like for real. Like this is very helpful. So just thank you for being here. And thank you to everyone who watched. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.